We are live. Hello, how are you? Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are doing amazing. I want to dive deep into this live because I feel like it is the best title, and I've been just spending the last 5 minutes understanding what I really want to put in this title. So, as you can tell, and I might just edit it to saying 3 proven ways to quantum leap into your 2024 vision with main character energy and being able to use the law of assumption to your benefit so that you can materialize the life and business that you want as a coach. So these, it's a lot of points, but this is mainly for the ones of you that is in the community and really want to show up in a new way, in a higher self-concept way, and you really want to start to make these changes that will actually materialize what it is that you desire without sabotaging yourself in the process. So I'm gonna take a sip of water, and of course I want to dive into just a quick story time for those of you who are hopping on and really just want to get a better idea of who I am. A few years ago, I was not this confident or this, let's say, bold enough to show up in the way that I show up. Not that I did not have the confidence to show up even a few years ago, back in 2020 and beforehand. I really started, before that, I had a lot of false beliefs that were appearing real for me. And the main ones were imposter syndrome, victimhood, and self-sabotage just in general. And I realized that I was really in a weird sense addicted to struggling, addicted to just not being the full self that I knew that I could be. And I want to just share with you this is that when you put your mind to something, meaning that you decide, and I spoke about deciding before, is that when you decide, you really go through a paradigm shift in itself. You really go through a quantum leap in itself when you decide to be someone that you have not yet been able to familiarize, but because you decided that you're going to not only familiarize yourself with this new version of yourself, but you are also going to start to experience yourself in a completely new high self-concept way. And there is no turning back at that point. So back then, I was just not at the place where, of course, that I am today. And I want to just share that because some of us just see what we see on social media, see what we see on Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms, and we don't get the full story of just the person that we're seeing, right? The person that we're listening to on a regular cadence. And it's important that I share a bit of my story with you so that you can start to see that even though your false beliefs may be appearing real for you right now, there's always an option, there's always an opportunity, there's always a choice to decide what you're going to include as a part of your identity and who you are and how you experience life versus you just accepting what's been given to you. And there's so much power in that. There's so much power in knowing that you can be empowered in your life decisions, that you could be empowered about how you see yourself. You could be empowered about your overall self-concept and how that's really going to shape you and move you and really mold you into the version of yourself that you know that you're capable of transforming into. So I want to just share that when you are in a space of just not knowing, not seeing your vision come to life, it's okay to be in a place where you are unable to see your vision. It is okay. What happens after that is that you still make the choice that you're going to proceed and you're going to commit to this self-concept anyways, that you're going to proceed and persist and really creating a environment so that you can thrive while you are going on this self-concept journey as a coach, as a potential new business owner, as just an individual, a professional, whatever have you. But this is just mainly for the coaches that really want to start to experience themselves in a new high self-concept way and really shift into the version of themselves that is able to show up for their communities, nurture their relationships, and really take their goals to another level in 2024. So this is for someone who is just really ready to hit the ball rolling, hit the ground rolling. I think that's the quote. And really just like own everything that they want and own it unapologetically. So I want to get into the 3 ways that you could quantum leap into your 2024 version. And I want to incorporate more assumptions in this video. In this live, I do speak about the law of assumption, and really in a way I describe beliefs as assumptions. So when I talk about beliefs, sometimes in the best context, I also want to include that these beliefs are your assumptions about you. These beliefs that you have are assumptions about how you experience life, and that's why you are materializing certain things that no longer serve you, is because you still have the familiarity of this false belief appearing real, and on a deep level you think that you deserve this treatment or this experience, and this is the only reason why you are continuing to experience this unfolding. And until you really shift your perspective and shift your belief system and your self-concept, then you could start to materialize something new, something that is more favorable and familiar for you, right, to experience and live into and continue to thrive in. So that's my spiel about just my story and just wanting you to get a look in my past, because I know like I'm showing up almost every single day and really want you to get a better sense of like where I came from, because I know that's often difficult to see when people are just showing their best on social media and just, posting these snippets of like their best lives, and you don't know what got them there, right? You don't know what got them there. There's no context, there's no story. So I feel like it's just important to at least say this so that you can still make the distinction on knowing that this is not just for a particular person. This could be for you as well. So the first thing to realize when you are wanting to shift into a 2024 vision or a future vision, I spoke about this in the previous live, is that you want to bring this version of yourself to the present moment. So whatever your vision is, and of course you really want to get clear about what this vision is. So you want to define your vision. You want to get really clear as possible, and you could leverage your imagination. Excuse me, maybe I need another sip of water, but you can leverage your imagination to really step into the version of yourself that is fully embodied in their desire and materializing the results of that version, right? And the better way to get involved with just any of that in the vision is to sit yourself down and get very clear on what it is that you actually want to accomplish by the end of 2024. And so when you get clear about this vision, and really it's about really sitting down and listing down what beliefs are in alignment with who you want to be in order to produce the thing. So say that you want to, by the end of 2024, produce either a 5 or 6 figure business. You are essentially working backwards from that goal to saying, okay, well, what are the things or the beliefs that I need to have in order to produce the feeling states, the thoughts, the inner self dialogue that will give me this result, right? And so a lot of this could really just be you transforming your self-concept by the way that you speak to yourself. And of course I speak about self-regulation, but this is more of a live of like really questioning and being curious about who this 2024 version of yourself is, and bringing that to life, right? Bringing that to life in this present moment and getting really clear about what it is that you actually want to accomplish. And it's not until you get extra crystal clear on what it is that you want to accomplish that you could actually move forward into knowing that your current belief system is not going to get you to accomplishing this 2024 version of yourself. So this means that you do have to create a shift within yourself in order to make this transformation materialize, in order to make the results that are attached to this transformation materialize. So you do have to get crystal clear about what it is that you want, so that you can start to look at the false beliefs that are in your way of getting to the goal that you want to achieve. And of course, when we're talking about goals or manifestations or manifesting or desires, you want to be able to create a clear path on how it is that you actually want to receive it, and really be able to increase your level of conscious awareness around how you're going to receive this desire right now. So you actually have to transform your self-concept to believing that you are this version right now. So all the beliefs that you would have had by the results that you created at the end of next year, you have to adopt those beliefs right now. And these are beliefs that are free of false beliefs, that are free of victimhood, that are free of imposter syndrome, procrastination, any form of self-sabotage. And you really want to create a sustainable change. And that's how you're going to create a sustainable change. Because if you're materializing out of a place of not having or not being worthy of it, then of course you're going to have issues along the way and circumstances along the way of you just wanting and receiving this result that is really natural to you. And you're really going to prolong the having and the materializing of this desire, because you're no longer able to actually hold that embodiment, right? And you really want to get to a space where you are holding that embodiment for as long as you can, and really supporting yourself along the way. So you have to support yourself along the way. You cannot say, okay, well, I want to be this 5 or 6 figure business owner or coach that is selling so-and-so, and you were still having limitations around showing up live, for instance. You really want to be able to show your face and share your perspective, share your story, so that other people are welcomed into your environment, into your space, and get a chance to know who you are. And that, I think, is so important. And because you are serving your audience, you are serving your clients, you really want to show that you are acknowledgeable about that. Like, you acknowledge that you are pouring into them just as much as you are pouring back into yourself by serving them. And by serving you guys, I of course get so full and complete and just whole for it. So I would never, of course, if you're taking any just notes or taking in my content, like, this is content that I don't necessarily want. This is content that I make just so that you can start to create change, sustainable change, materialize desire on a consistent basis without anything in return, right? So this is just what fills me up, okay? And this is the belief, this is really the feeling state, the desired feeling state that is attached to the belief that I had to align myself with, that I had to align my self-concept with, so that I am continuously serving from a place of fulfillment. I hold myself accountable to that, to be able to serve from a place of fulfillment and fullness and completeness, wholeness, all of the things. So I obviously have a passion for this, right? But moving on to the second point, because the first one was very long-winded, is that you want to experience your best life in all of the desires here right now, and knowing that you are fully capable and fully just able to shift yourself into the version of yourself that is able to receive and enjoy these desires. I know that when you have a desire, sometimes you might feel guilt or shame or, again, unworthiness for having this desire, and that could be so far from what you actually should be experiencing when you have a desire. When you have a desire, it is available to you right away, and it is a sure sign that you already have it. And this is a natural occurrence to you. So when you are again, having this goal of yours, this vision of yours, really remember that you are the version of yourself that already has this desire. So you don't have to fight against or deny yourself of this desire because you feel shame attached to it, or because no one else in your family has this desire and is able to easily flow into it and enjoy it. That is not meant for you, that people are going to shame you into wanting more and want to humble you and want to, just all the things. Like I could just name everything off the top of my head of the things that people will say, and what you could really be taking that as meaning to why you cannot have your desire in the first place. And you really want to be consciously aware of that. So we already know that emotional self-regulation is key, but you really want to know why you might be having shame, guilt, or any signs of unworthiness attached to wanting this desire that you want. Because a version of yourself already has it and is already enjoying the things and is not feeling guilty or shameful for it, is just enjoying it and receiving it on a regular cadence. So what beliefs do you need to have in order to align yourself with receiving this desire on a consistent basis? And how are you going to create an environment so that you can thrive in this receiving of desire, right? And not sabotage yourself in the process, because you could receive it. You could have your 5-figure month or your 5-figure year, your 6-figure year, and you could still not have it the next year or the following 6 months. So you really want to create that version of yourself, that identity portion that is attached to this version of yourself that is 100% all in and committed to creating this sustainable change. The third point is that you want to come to the awareness of the everyone is you pushed out. So once you come to that awareness, I think everything starts to become more easily accessible in terms of like feeling states, desired feeling states, inner self dialogues, the desired aligned beliefs, and just all the things. So once you really get to resolving what false beliefs are appearing real for you, you release those and you really get to a space where you are retaining the feeling states, the imaginal acts, the imaginal inner self experiences, just the inner imaginal, like what you're actually going to get from your techniques is going to hold you for as long as you need, so that when you are at the 5 and 6-figure mark, that you can move on and you could evolve to 7, 8, maybe even 9 figures, right? Like there is no limit to what you can accomplish when you are working on self-concept. This is why I say instead of materializing desires can come automatically, but instead of focusing on what you are manifesting, instead of focusing on what you need to try to do or what you need to pretend to be, just focus on your self-concept. This is a much easier way to materialize desire if you want to materialize desire on a more sustainable, maintained, consistent basis. So that's mainly what I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions regarding the one-on-one for self-concept program, be sure to send me a DM or leave a comment below and let me know what the major takeaway from this live was. And I would love to just hear more about you and your inner self-dialogue, your manifestation process, how you've been getting on with just materializing desire in general, and how you perhaps want to start to look at how you can consistently materialize desire from a place of, again, fullness, completeness, wholeness, and high self-concept. So on that note, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next live. Cheers.